Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Carol Masser, along with Jim Stanovic. Let's get to some of the stocks on the move today. Bloomberg News earnings reporter Red Brown. This is his really busy time here at Bloomberg. He's got some stocks on the move. D.R. Horton, the home builders were on fire today.
Yeah, they were on fire today, and it's because of D.R. Horton's earnings today, actually. The ticker on this one's DHI. The company was up around 17%. That's its best one-day move since I'm looking at it now, and it looks like since 2020. So since 5 years. Prior to this, the stock had been down around 6% through the close yesterday. So this is really kind of reversed fortunes for this company, and it's dragging a lot of its peers up as well. So the company actually increased the top end of its range for its sales target, and mostly maintained its target for how many houses are to close this year. So really positive report, especially kind of considering just, everyone's been watching the housing market. It's been quite soft this year. It's soft because mortgage rates are elevated. Home prices are elevated as well. So the company now is trying to make some effort to make some homes more affordable and start to stimulate demand through some incentives, things like that.
How come D.R. Horton and not Pulte?
Because Pulte, I think they report tomorrow, I believe, and D.R. Horton is a little bit bigger as well. So I think for our lovely listeners,
they were up too.
They were. So
everyone in sympathy, as Red said.
Yeah. So it was Pulte and Lennar also were up. They should be reporting quite soon here, I think, in the next couple of days. So we'll see if we get kind of a similar result, or maybe D.R. Horton is just kind of a one-off here, because they all do kind of dabble in different ends of the market. Like I think Lennar, if my memory is serving right, is a little bit more high end.
But Pulte came out with earnings too today.
Oh, did they? Look.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not doing a very good job.
Because you're stressing me out because I talked about them in my gainers and I'm like, shoot, did I read this wrong? Right? 6:30 this morning?
I don't know, Carol.
Second quarter adjusted EPS?
Looks like they did.
How do they do? They did well. They also beat revenue, beat EPS. So
stock was up 11% today.
There we go.
Sorry.
So it seems like, home builders, I guess, across the board then, I guess would be the conclusion.
Tim and I have talked about it. It's kind of wacky world right now, bizarre world.
Yeah.
So they did report, right?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
My mistake.
No. I'm all of a sudden thinking, I talked about it in my gainers. I'm like, hey, Pulte reported earnings. And
Let's talk about
it's
Zyn.
A weird day.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Zyn because every time I walk by Carol's desk, she's just grabbing one of these Zyn pouches and she's like, Tim, you got to try this Zyn stuff.
That is so not true. Anyone who knows me, so not true.
Well, it's interesting that it's not true. It seems like everyone is actually doing it.
It's a joke. It is not true at all. But talk about Zyn a little bit.
That's how she gets her edge.
Yeah.
She's so wise.
All right,
these
go ahead.
These are nicotine pouches.
Yes, they are nicotine pouches. I'm sure many people are familiar with them, increasingly so. But Philip Morris, who sells these Zyn pouches that you're seeing everywhere, actually fell around 8.4% after their shipments of Zyn pouches in the U.S. missed expectations. Shares have done really well this year. They're up nearly 40%, and that puts it around the 25th best performer in the S&P 500 last time I checked. So, and that actually largely is due to the strength of their Zyn business so far. It still grew 42% last quarter, so it's been up around 40% each of the last 3 quarters.
No Zyn pouches here, I'm just telling you.
No.
Body is a temple.
Is it because they're competitors now to Zyn?
I think so, because if you remember, Zyn had those manufacturing issues, right? So they weren't able to. It was late last year, for a period last year, they had some manufacturing issues, so they weren't able to meet the demand. And I think that probably did open up a little bit of a window for, you see all these like knockoffs and they all look kind of the same. But I think, for something like this, I don't know how people had their cigarettes, right? Like you would smoke whatever it was.
Right.
I don't know if the sort of like loyalty is the same. If it's like, I'll just grab whatever's available to some
Let's ask
extent.
Tim. Are you loyal? Do you have a certain Zyn pouch
honestly,
that you stick to?
I would never.
I know. It would never be for Tim. I would, end of the world if I see that.
As Red said in our own Bloomberg News team reporting, the company was dogged by manufacturing problems last year. Capacity constraints caused Zyn shortages that have now eased. It announced investments in new facilities and said restocking was completed in the first half, though the impact on sales was slightly less than expected.
All right. So we had D.R. Horton, ticker DHI, right? We had Philip Morris, MO, and now we're going to go to NOC, Northrop Grumman.
Right. Northrop Grumman, yeah. This one was interesting. to me today just because of the kind of contrasting fortunes in defense. We also had Lockheed also reporting earnings today, and they fell around 11%. Northrop, the ticker on that one is NOC, and they were up by around 10%. They actually hit an all-time high in the process. It's one of their best days in the last 2 or 3 years. So, bringing total returns up to 20%. So still doing really strong. Wow. They raised their full-year outlook, and that's despite kind of some of the pressures that the Trump administration is putting on the kind of the defense industry overall, kind of trying to rein in some procurement, trying to make the whole industry a little bit more competitive. It's a very opaque process to kind of actually get a contract, but it seems like Northrop is still benefiting from a couple of the programs that they have already. They have a ballistic missiles program, they have a bomber program, and those do seem to be kind of making healthy returns. And the big number for all this group is the backlog. The backlog grew 8% last quarter. It's nearly $90 billion now. So that's quite a healthy book of business for the company to kind of on the back of just governments across the world prioritizing defensive spending.
Some nice visibility, right?
Definitely.
It gives them. By the way, Northrop Grumman is up about 20% year to date.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.